So I want to thank you, Dr. Matthews, for being here.
Thank you.
Because I know you're busy. You have a very, very demanding position.
Yeah.
So for you to spend your time with us here tonight means the world.
Thank you.
And Miss Lorraine, thank you again for the collaboration. Thank you again for just the uplifting of just the exchange of upliftment, because it's so important to have that reciprocated. So for you to be in my circle, in my triangle, like I always say, that means the world. So thank you. I love you. I love working out. I'm done.
No, I think it's just, amazing, to be in this space, for so many reasons. I mean, yes, of course I'm busy, and community is part of the job, but it's also part of the survival plan. Right. In terms of being able to be in authentic spaces, to be able to be your full self in all of your facets. There are certain versions or iterations of you that show up in different spaces. And that's not selling out. That's not being true. That's, figuring out which facet of you should be in space. But see, you've created a space where people can bring their whole self or simply the self they choose to bring, kind of in that space and sort of mixing and flowing and moving. And I think that the viewers and the audience feel the same way, right? That they can come in the space. It was a very eclectic, I don't even like the word diverse for this. It was an eclectic audience in that space. And I think that's a reflection of the energy, that you create in that space. And it's a reminder, we always have to make time for these things. And as often as people see me as a spokesperson for what I do, because it's part of the job, that is actually very, very different from me sharing my story. And now that story is a part of my story, but it's very different. In that space, and it reminds me, to keep out there and doing those things, and thank you for supporting, right? Because in my world, my chief operating officer is always my right hand. I'm like, I don't lock doors, I don't turn on lights, I don't like these are the things, right? So when you're dealing with folks who have vision, and have this, there is always a very strong, second hand, not even behind the scenes,
Right.
but sort of someone who can be there and lift and push and count and counter and all those kinds of things. And it's amazing. So thank you for who you are, just on your own. Just on your own, but also, who you are inside of this process too.
Amen.
You're all right. We talked about this.
We did.
Over a year ago, we sat, and I am a believer of the prophetic. Have what you say. And we sat there and we talked this whole thing out. We just randomly talk about it.
Yeah.
And then every other weekend, we're like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then one day she was like, no, I booked it. We're going to do this. I said, oh, we're going to we doing it? For real?
Second show.
Yeah.
Second show. And it gets better every time, right?
Amen. Amen. I can honestly say that I could not have done this thing without Stephen.
Yeah.
I could not the way that we do it, because I was doing some things, as far as the live entertainment sector and being on stage singing.
Yeah.
But the behind the scenes, he's got this keen eye.
He really does.
Oh my goodness. He's got this thing, this way of seeing beyond, and it's so needed.
Yeah.
So for him to press through and be here tonight.
Absolutely.
He's hurting, but he's right here.
He's hurting, yeah.
He was texting me.
He look like a black woman. He out here rolling like a black woman. Rolling like a sister.
Absolutely.
Right, sat down. I told him to sat down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not been doing it.
Yeah.
But
It takes a team. It takes a village.
yeah.
And the support is there, and you can feel it. So, and I feel like the village has been extended tonight. There's so many things that we can relate to, and we have to realize that we're so much more similar than we are different. And people say it all the time, but until we continue to tell our stories, we're not going to realize how much it is.
Yeah.
So
You gotta speak, right?
yeah,
You gotta speak.
absolutely.
100.
It's time.
It's time.
What a way to end 2020.
There it is. Exactly.
This is a setting for what's coming.
Yep.
So I believe this year was the year of the 8. We're supposed to round some things out, close it out, abundance, and really manifesting things, right? Well, we put it out there.
Yes,
2025,
absolutely.
and we're gonna see it. I feel like we're gonna see it in fruition. Really let it see. So we got to keep that positive.
Coming out of hibernation.
That's right. Yes.
Right?
Get on the
Exactly.
cultivation period.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
All those
Right.
things.
All
All right.
right. And all right. Thank you.